Well, hello y'all. It's been a while. It was a crazy after the new year. Me and my husband both got sick for like 2 weeks straight. So that put me behind forever because it kept hanging on and I almost never got back to work. And then when I did get back to work, then everything else that I was supposed to be doing after the 2 weeks caught up to me. So we all know how that goes, right? So anyway, I have just started working back in the shop. I know you've seen some of the little shorts that I've been doing. That's some of the new things that I've been doing, like this piece here. It is still wet, but I absolutely love these. This I created with a template for this shape here, just this part here, that I created eons ago, and I honestly can't even tell you what I created it for. I have no idea. But I kept it because I kind of like the shape. And when I was moving some stuff around as I was working on some things for Easter, those little rabbit trays, I ran across it and I said, well, let me try this. And I freaking love it. So these are going to be little vases. I did not decorate this one on the back. The other one that I did, you'll see in the video, that short that I did carve it on the back as well, but I decided to leave this one blank. But I did carve her on each side. Put her some little hair on there so she's got a little frou-frou. And yeah, I think they're going to turn out fantastic. I cannot wait to glaze these, but as you can tell by the different colors and the clay that it's very wet still at the base. So that's going to take some time. It's nowhere near ready to go. But the second thing that I started on in between time, I created this piece because I needed to do something creative. You're going to hear my dogs or see my dogs. Don't knock that over, honey. No, ma'am. No. Watch out now. Sorry. I have 2 rescue dogs and they are like kids. Y'all get out of here. Come on, go. Move, move. Chop, chop. They think they're kids. I have no kids. They are my children. This is going to be a plate that I'm going to make my personal dinner set with. I have thought about this and I made a smaller one that's around here somewhere that I took a picture of a long time ago, similar to this. It was almost the exact same shape, but not quite. It was more just a teardrop shape. And I liked the shape, but it wasn't quite right. And I did not like the thinness of the tip that I had at that time. So I decided to utilize that and then trace out a bigger one. And here we are. This is what I came up with. And as I was cutting this piece out, the slab of clay was a leftover slab that I had already cut out some things on. So I couldn't quite cut this whole piece out as a whole. Which turned out to be great because I actually like the patchwork part to it. In the past, I've done a lot of patchwork pieces, and yeah, I really like that look, and I just think it really adds something, a little detail to the side. So I haven't determined how I'm going to glaze this yet. I have a glaze fire in going right now. You may hear it clicking in the background. But I'm going to glaze this with the glaze I know. And I'm trying to decide whether I want to use an oxide wash on both of these pieces or oxide wash one and glaze the other as well. So we'll see how that one's going to turn out. Can't wait to do that one. That one will be next, but I had to try to figure out, I'm going to use my ash glaze on this, and I mismarked it. So I'm not sure the glaze that I wanted to use, I'm not sure which one it was in. So in that glaze firing today, this afternoon, I have some tester pieces so that I can figure out which one's which and go from there. All right, so the real thing that this video is going to be about is going to be templates, how you can purchase different items from thrift stores, dollar stores. These particular things that I got today, not this bowl here, but that's one of the things that I'm going to show you today. But on the way home today, after I went to lunch for my mother-in-law's birthday, I stopped by a local antique mall and I picked up several things that were just really cool for quick, easy templates to make shapes and designs with that you can utilize with your work. And if you're not super artistic in the way of trying to carve your own designs and things like that, then this is a really good way to do it. And even if it's not just that, like sometimes for bowls and things like that, you really need a shape that you can form that on, whether a slump mold, which will, if you put that on the inside, it would be a slump mold because you slump it down in there, or a hump mold. And this right here is actually why I got this, because it is stunning. So I'm going to utilize this probably in two ways. I mean, it's a beautiful little glass plate anyway, but I could not resist that pattern. I'm going to use that for some other stuff. I'm going to take a big old slab of clay and I'm going to just impress the whole thing, and then I'm going to lay it out flat so that I have, you know, a flat surface to roll things out on, or even roll a slab of clay on to form it into a bowl, however I want to do that. But this is one, that's a prime example of things that you can do. You know, just look for texture, look for it doesn't have to be a giant bowl like this. It can be anything. I have used old buttons. There's a lot of antique buttons that are very decorative. No, sir. Out, 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 out. I have used antique buttons that are really neat for small little repetitious impressions on your work and things like that. They have some really decorative ones that are just really, they're really cool. So you can utilize that. If you can find them, they also have, you can find those sometimes at antique malls or antique shops, you know, those little thrift stores and things like that, where the old fabric, they're wooden printing designs that they used to use for, you know, fabric. And so, you know, it's got the design on just like a wooden stamp that you can use. And those are really neat. I'm sure my dogs are tearing something up out there, but we're not going to go look at them. All right, this is the other thing that I found today, and I really just like this shape. So you see it's an actual dish. Don't let me drop that. I could probably cut these off, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use the interior of it and slump a piece of clay in here. And when I saw this, I just really love the shape because I like the triangles. I like the dish itself, so this would be a really beautiful dish just like it is, whether I put feet on it or not, for, you know, a piece of clay or a bowl. But you could also maybe take this, you know, get your clay in here, cut it out, and then raise these three corners up to a point for, say, a bird feeder or a hanging basket of sorts for plants or anything like that. You know, whatever you can imagine. You know, but it's a really nice shape, and it works. It's going to work well. So, you know, I would put cornstarch, or I would put some, if I'm going to make a template of this, you know, to use as like a bisque template, I would put either cornstarch, or I would put some muslin cloth down over this so that it doesn't stick and it'd be easier to take it out. Or maybe some cooking spray, you know, just spray a light coat on there so it'll release easier. Those would be things that would be helpful for that. So that's the other thing that I got. This is the most unusual and coolest thing ever, and I could not resist it. I didn't want to buy it because it was a little pricier than what I normally get. I usually try to find, you know, things for like $5 or something like that, you know, because it can add up quick. But this one was a little pricier, but it was so unique I had to get it. Couldn't resist it. It is a puppy dish. That is amazing. I've never seen one like this, so had to have it. I'm going to be doing some things for a local shelter, so that, you know, that they have some things that they can sell to raise money for fundraisers and stuff like that. So with this one, because I would want it to look just like this with the indentions in the end, I'm actually going to drape some clay over, indent it, and then let it set up and pull it off, and use that bisque template. It's not really a bowl, but it's kind of like a tray, I guess. Use that bisque template for trays. So, you know, then therefore it will be, when I use that bisque template, this will be what my tray looks like instead of having it the reverse. All right, so, you know, sometimes you have to think outside the box a little bit. But this is fantastic. I would have never found this anywhere. I've never seen one like this. So that's another thing that I got. So another thing that I did is get this. I saw this one. It was $5. And it's really, I mean, it's useful for anything. So I could use that for a lot of things anyway, outside of just molds. But I've been wanting to do some longer leaf-shaped trays, and this is going to make my life easier. I actually have created a template for one. Let me grab that and I'll show you. Because this was in my head, and so I wanted to make some longer trays, but I wanted them more in a leaf shape. So I cut this out the other day so that I could use it, but I haven't made a tray with it yet. And this is just tar paper. I do all my templates. They'll start out with, usually that one didn't, but most times I'll start out with like a newspaper template to make sure that it is the shape, size, and style, design that I want. And if I don't want to alter it anymore, if I'm not going to alter it, it is what I want it to be, then I'll go ahead and cut it in tar paper. I'll get that out in a minute, so that it's more resistant to water. So they last a long time. Hey, baby. But this one is like I said, it's the little leaf kind of pattern. And I can lay my clay directly on here. I'm probably going to sand off this. It's got a little bit of a shiny coat to it. I'll sand that off so that, you know, it has some water absorption ability, and when I do that, I can either, you know, do my tray to here and just, you know, cut it off and add my own stem, or if I want to, as I drape it, I can go ahead and cut it all the way to here so that, you know, I've already got my stem there. Peta, no ma'am. Pepper. Anybody that wants a dog, let me know. All right, so that's the other one. Super cool, super cool. Thrift store find. This one is another one that I got that I couldn't resist. I almost didn't get this one too, but I decided to anyway. It's just a little pewter dish, and in the spirit of, sorry about that, in the spirit of Easter, I decided to get it. This will last me, not only could I use it for a serving piece, but it will last me indefinitely, and I can make multiple forms from this. So what I'm going to do with this one again is take me a slab of clay, lay it on here, press it in so that I've got all the design, make sure that I get all that design on there, and then let it release, and I'll have me a bisque template of this that I can roll out my clay on. It will be more absorbent, so that I don't have to worry about things sticking so much. They'll be easy to get off. Okay, no Cooper. No baby. This is another little wooden dish that I saw. I didn't really need it, but I really like the shape of it, and I like the depth of it because it's pretty deep. So this one's going to be really cool, and it doesn't have any feet on the bottom, so I could actually use this as either a slump mold or a hump mold. Either way, it's going to work really well, and I just really like that design. And if I wanted to put feet on there afterwards, then I could certainly do so. So I just thought it was really neat shape, and I didn't take me 2 seconds. I saw it and I grabbed it because I thought that shape was so unique and so cool. Let's see what else I got in here. Those are just for me, so you don't have to see that one. And that one's just for me. So the rest is things that I bought personally for me to use. I got something to bake bread in, and then also just something that matches my kitchen. So, I don't know, that's, I use those from time to time, you know, just to make life easier, especially when you're trying to do more production pieces and trying to get more set up at one time. It's helpful, and especially if you get these and then create, like I said, create you a bisque template, then it's also helpful. I'll grab another one that I'll show you what I did as far as bisque templates. That's very, very helpful. Let's see, let me get this one. And let me get, where is that? So, these are a couple more that I got. This one I actually threw on the wheel and it broke, so I glued it back together. This one I actually use, in hindsight's 2020, when I made it, I wasn't thinking about it, and I put a ridge here. I don't know if you can see that ridge. I put the ridge there. And my thought process in my mind's eye at the time was that that would be my foot ring. But what I didn't think about was my foot ring was indented, and then this was a lip overlapping that. So if I actually had a foot ring there, then I would not be able to get it out of this mold. But what the idea was with this, and I still use it, I just don't put the foot ring on there. So, you know, I will wipe it down so that, you know, my bottom is just flat through here onto the bottom. But this was done on the wheel. It's thrown on the wheel. It's just opened all the way down to the bottom of the bat. And you could, you know, just do like a little plate like this and have a solid clay piece on the bottom if you wanted to. But I wanted it, you know, for variation and things. At that time, I made this eons ago. But anyways, I threw it on the wheel and then I carved my design. And so I'll take a slab of clay and I will lay it over here. And I'll wipe it into this so that it impresses with this design, so that design will be on the outer lip of my plate. And you can either cut it off here and have a smooth rim, or you can have a more organic rim, which is usually what I would do. I would just have, you know, a little bit bigger size clay than what this rim would be, and just kind of flute it a little bit, you know, however I wanted to do it in an organic fashion, because that's my style. And so it works really well. The only drawback is my foot ring. It's not supposed to be a foot ring, or shouldn't have been, I'll put it that way. And this one is one that I recently made. It kind of blew up in the kiln a little bit. I don't know why, because it was solid. It was completely dry. But anyways, so this is a plate that I made from something similar to this piece right here. It's obviously just a little bit flatter. And I did this one so that I can make some bowls. And again, it's bisqueware. And I can make bowls from this, or large platters from this, and not have to worry about them sticking to the mold. I don't have to worry so much about when or if they will release before cracking. Things like that. This also gives me the ability to put a foot on it and keep this edge, this outer edge, because it's a larger plate size, from deforming. So, you know, lets it be stable and structural as it's drying, to the point where it can hold its weight. And I can still put that foot on and not have to worry about that. So those are good. And I've done several things like that over the years. It's really easy to do, and it's very, very beneficial. So anyways, so I just thought that I would share with y'all what I did today and all my super fantastic finds. This one, again, is my favorite of all. It's my favorite. So why don't you tell me which one is y'all's favorite? Or if you have done something similar, let me know. Let me know how it worked out, or what kind of things that you might have done differently than me. Maybe I'll learn something from you. I'm sure I will. And I'd love to hear it. All right. Well, I hope everyone's ready for the new year. Ready or not, here it is. I don't know about y'all, but January passed really fast. So my first market is in March, and then I'm going to be having back-to-back markets. Thank goodness the first two are kind of small. Then I've got two large ones. So it'll be March, April, May, June. So I'll have 4 markets, and May and June are very large markets. So I'm kind of stressing out with making sure that I get enough done to have for all of that. So we shall see. I can't get any grayer, not much. I can get a little bit grayer, so you know all that worry can make me a little more gray, but not too much. But we'll see how that turns out. So, all right, it's pretty soon I'm going to make a video on how to do these because I think they're really cool, and I just would like to show y'all how to do those. And then we'll do the pitcher. I know that I promised you that pouring pitcher, and I will be doing that as well. But I figured I would show you next. I will do a video on things that I'm actually currently making. So I'm going to do that, and let me know what you think. All right. Good to see y'all. Happy New Year, and let's get this party started. All right. Bye.